Hey, welcome to another Feel Good session. It is so good to be back. I know I took some time trying to figure some stuff out, but I am so thrilled to be back here with you guys. And the idea behind these Feel Good sessions is really to just give yourself some space to release your stress, to quiet your mind, and to just be ready to take on the day again. Intuitive painting is so good for tapping in to how we are feeling and releasing that and giving us a way to focus our minds for the kind of energy we do want to bring into the world, how we want to be feeling, how we want to show up, but in a much needed, casual way. There is no pressure. You see I have it in a notebook here, and this is my large scale notebook. I do some videos where I have a smaller one that has a divide in the middle, but sometimes I really like to work large so my hands can really move around. So that's why I chose the big one today. I've been craving working large, but I don't have really the time or space to set up my big canvases right now. I'm in the process of resituating my studio because I made a home gym also. So today's video, as you see, I started with scribbles. I started with just letting some of my frustrations come out in those squiggle marks, doing those deep breaths in, the deep breaths out. And to be honest, my time on this, I felt a little frantic. I don't really know. I didn't realize I was feeling that energy until I sat down and I started doing this, and I was like, wow, like there is just kind of this like frantic energy that I am feeling as I'm doing this. Maybe it's because I set a 30-minute timer for myself for this session. I don't think so. But whatever the reason, I went ahead and I leaned into that frantic feeling. I didn't try to resist it. I didn't try to push it away. It more was like, let me sit with this. Let me get used to what this really feels like. How do I feel it in my body? And then to realize it doesn't hurt me to feel this energy, but then to start understanding and questioning why, what is causing me to feel this way. And so with these feel good sessions, I've talked about in some of my videos about journaling before you start. So when you're doing the scribbles and the lines, that you can journal about what's going on, and you can do it in whatever direction. Or you can do the breath work and you can do the lines. There's no right or wrong way to approach this. The idea really is to give yourself space, to not judge yourself, and to let yourself play and be curious, and really to listen into what's there, to try to understand what it is you're feeling and why, and then how you might be able to reframe that to move you forward in a more positive way the next day. I think anytime we are, any goal, but really just through life, we all are going to have certain things that come up, whether that's just a simple, small thing or a triggering thing. And we have to understand what it is that is causing that reaction. And we can't always control that that feeling happens, but we can't control the way we respond to it. We can take a moment, take a breath, and make sure that we are responding in alignment with the type of person that we want to be. And that is challenging. And that, for me on this journey, and I don't know all the ins and outs. I know what I have learned on my journey. And it's, one of the things here, I didn't even know if I was going to keep showing up and sharing these videos, to be honest with you guys. I had shared about the loss of a friend this past summer that really shook me. It made me really look at my own life and be like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Could I be making a different kind of impact? And it was a slow progress for me. And one of the things I realized is that, you always hear life is short, but I'm like, I want to do things that I love. And I love that I'm home and I homeschool my children, and that is my number one priority. And then my art. I love creating, and I love creating functional art. And then on top of that, wellness, my mental health, my physical health, and all of that is important. And I think that our physical health is very important for taking care of our mental health, because our brain is physical, and if we're not taking care of our brain, it makes it much harder to have that control over the way you're thinking. And you just think about the days that you're well rested. It's much easier to not feel as emotional as if you're worn down and tired. You can tend to be more emotional, right? So I knew moving forward that I wanted a platform where I could still talk about therapeutic art, that I could talk about fitness, and that I could create my art and sell it as functional art on things that we use on our day-to-day life. Because I had been doing it a little bit, and one of the moms, we do like a partnership program for homeschool, but she saw me in one of my things and she was like, I just love it. It brings a smile to my face every time that I see it. And it was that little compliment and that thing that was like, if all I can do is bring a smile to somebody's face by my art, then that's worth it. That's worth doing it. And so it's been this little bit of reflection, and I say a little bit, a lot of it of reflection. And one of the things is, growing up, I was always the artist and the athlete. I played softball growing up, and that's how I went to Savannah College of Art and Design. I had a softball scholarship, and so that was really like two big parts of my identity through my whole life. And I got disconnected with the athlete side once softball ended. It was like, well, I'm not an athlete anymore. Why do I need to train like that? And I didn't realize the importance of working out and training the way I was until years later. And so I have been working on getting back in shape, weight training, trying to take care of my brain and my body. And so all of this is, I want you guys to know that anytime when you are making decisions in your life, when you are trying to move forward, is having this space in this notebook where it seems so simple as painting, but it gives you that time to listen to yourself. You have got to have space to be able to hear yourself think, to be able to hear what your heart is trying to tell you. What direction do you need to be going? And, for me, I had a really hard time this summer because I was like, oh my God, I am changing again. Like, I felt so strongly about doing therapeutic art, and I'm like, I don't want to throw that all out the window. But I realized that I'm like, I want to share it for free. I just want it to be a resource to help people, and I want people to find, if I'm just a stepping stone to them being able to learn to have that space to quiet your mind, to hear yourself think, to know what your voice says and what you really think about things. That's what this is for. And so I will continue to show up and share these videos. And I apologize if it is more about the mindset and the thoughts and the emotions and sitting with it than a how-to on painting. Because to be honest, there are so many how-to videos on YouTube for painting. And, when you talk about intuitive painting, I set a 30-minute timer for this painting. I did not let myself hardly think about what I was doing. I picked out a handful of colors before I started. And I just started moving my hands, and literally my mind was not on the painting. It was on what was going on, the feeling, that frantic feeling that I had in my body, and being like, what the hell is going on? Why do I feel like this? Like, I've known I've been having a little bit of like that anxiety, but I didn't know what was causing it, and it wasn't over the top. It was just kind of this subtle discomfort. And so that's what I was thinking about. And I just started making decisions and letting my hand move and make choices for me. Because it's like, if it turns out, wonderful. If it doesn't, that's okay, because right now, the reason I'm here for this particular moment is to work through that frantic feeling and to get my mind right so that I can show up in my life feeling vibrant and spirited, because those are the two things I talk about, that vow to be vibrant, and which is why I choose that hot pink and my tangerine and my white that I love to bring into my pieces. And then you'll also see the aqua blue a lot of times, because that to me represents peace, and I want to feel at peace and in alignment with the choices I'm making in my life. And then the lime green color is growth. It is always what I picture. I grew up in Oklahoma, and so when the springtime would start, my birthday is in March, and I always loved it. I associated it with that lime green color because it's when everything started to come back alive. It was like this bright, bright green color when everything would start to bloom out. And so to me, that is new growth. And I look at goals and resolutions and all that as more of an evolution. I saw that on an ad one day and I loved how they worded it. But it's an evolution. Being better at taking care of myself, being better at taking care of relationships, being better at tapping in and listening. But it's not about not being enough. We have to be really careful that the things we are saying to ourselves and the goals we are setting are not leading to us subconsciously feeling like we're not enough, we're not good enough, we can't do it. And I'm here to tell you that you can, that you are enough, that you are capable, and you are absolutely worthy of it. You're worthy of the time to take care of, to give yourself space. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, peace and love.